Okay, minasan, today we are gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 4. This is one of the best episodes so far, so I'm really excited to talk about this episode because it is not only amazing in the choreography, in the fight scene, but it is also quite emotional in a sense. But obviously there are some mistake that has been done in this episode. There's a few scenes that we don't actually get to see the camera focusing. I mean, I kind of understand because it is quite hard for them to rack focus during the night time, so very easy mistake to be forgiven there. But we need to talk about Tycoon, and we need to talk about S, and we need to talk about Nago as well. And lastly, we want to talk about the DGP. Okay, so let us start from Tycoon. So apparently we're gonna get an episodic recap from Tycoon every single episode. He is gonna be our main perspective throughout the entire Kamen Rider Geats. So he is gonna see as from a certain perspective, and I feel like the perspective that we're gonna get from Tycoon about S is definitely not gonna be the most accurate depiction of who S actually is, because in this episode we actually get to see quite a lot of S personality that I'm really excited to talk about. But I just want to say both Tycoon and S actually goes complement quite well with one another. Like one is like kind of like a cold love, one is like hot love. Okay, so what is cold love, what is hot love? For me, cold love is like you want to love, but you don't really want to show that the person that you really care. A little bit kind of like tsundere vibe, something like that. And Geats is someone that is like that. S is someone that is like you need to pick yourself up, and this is very tough love. Okay, cold love is similar to tough love. Like if you want to change, you need to pick yourself up. And a lot of people might actually view like this type of person as like very arrogant, very like cold-hearted, something like that. But that's not the case, because what he believes is that if you want to change, you need to make the change yourself. Change is in the power of your hand. Okay, if you don't change yourself, no one can save you. So that is something really interesting. But then again, we also get to see a little bit perspective from Tycoon itself. Tycoon is someone that practice soft love, you know, like I'm gonna be there for you, I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna assist you all the way through. So depends on who you are. Both of this love definitely applies to every single person out there. This is a really good dynamic here that we actually get to see, and the way they are actually like surrounding Nago, and it actually really reminds me of the friendship that I have in my friend group itself. Like there's like a girl, and then we got like a few boys, and then something like that. So like we always kind of like, sometimes the girl is kind of like quite princessy in a sense, but like, you know, sometimes the princess get bullied by other people, then they're like tough love, and then there's soft love. Like depends who you are. Usually I'm the tough love guy, like, hey shit, if you want to get changed, just change yourself. Okay, like what are you doing, something like that. But obviously not every single time tough love is being appreciated, because sometimes you need the love of soft and tough to come together to actually makes everything goes well together. But let us talk about S right now, because the way that he's talking, the way that he's actually speaking, almost seems like he is not very sure how to become a human. Okay, like he might be OP in fighting the Jyamato, he might be OP in becoming Kamen Rider Geats, but based on the interaction that I saw him having throughout this few episodes, it really makes me think that maybe Geats is not really like, he's a very knowledgeable guy. Obviously, like he knows a lot about the ancient history stuff. Like he think like the way he think, he is like he is similar in a war. Like he even speak like he is in a war itself. Like he says like, if we want to play DGP, like we need to honor those who die before us, like those who being like let down, like we need to keep on working harder for them and all those stuff. So it really makes me think that what if as Ukyo actually loses his memory? So that is kind of like the reason why he's actually playing Kamen Rider Geats, like because he lost his memory or something like that. But really interesting stuff. Okay, speaking of the how do I say, losing memory stuff, I felt like if they actually put this in as character itself, it is gonna be really interesting because I would say he definitely remembers someone important in his life, but he couldn't remember who is it, and that could actually be the person that he's looking out for, and maybe the reason why he wants to be the stars of the star is because of that particular reason. Okay, so really interesting stuff, and we also get to see that S is actually paying super close attention to Tycoon and Nago, and I feel like the major reason on why S is paying close attention to them is because both of them are the kind of like fairly new to the Kamen Rider Geats. Like the reason why he doesn't pay attention to Mary because he knows Mary is a piece of shit. Like that guy is not even trying to hide that he has malicious intent, okay? But I would say he's really interested to understand why Nago joins the DGP and what is Tycoon's perspective on this war itself, okay? Like Tycoon is someone that doesn't compromise his value. It's like, if I want war peace, I'm not gonna kill. He is a saint, okay? Like he is an idealist hero, something like that, but Geats is a realist hero, I would say, okay? Very interesting stuff here, but we need to talk about Neon right now, okay? Neon is someone that I really did not expect me to love her character so much. At first I saw her as like being cute and very outward like something like that, but now damn, her character is growing and developing to something that I definitely, by the end of the series, she's gonna be one of the best girl in the series, okay? But then again, the one girl that can beat her is Sumori. If Sumori actually gets some real amazing character development as well, I felt like these two female character in Geats is gonna be like the flower in the thorns itself, okay? Really amazing stuff. So we also learned that why her parents are so overprotective over Neon now that she's an adult. Like they are still being very overprotective of her. It is because she was being kidnapped when she was younger back in the day, okay? So I felt like this is definitely a trauma for the parents itself, and I mean like the kid itself doesn't actually have this trauma, and that is why like Neon actually wants to go out. She really wants to escape and all those stuff, but the mom doesn't actually allow this because the mom is so afraid to lose the baby once again. So she's like kind of like, I'm just gonna give you everything you want. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, just stay home, nothing is gonna happen to you. And this actually reminds me of another story that I want to share with all of you. One of my friends, we were just talking about future plans and like kids and all those stuff. Like, I mean, like we are not together and all those stuff, but like this is something that we always talk about. Is like, how are we gonna raise our kids? Because one of my dreams is to build my own family. I want like kind of like my little family and all those stuff. So I always think about how am I gonna raise my kids and all those stuff. So my friend actually says something real crazy and really creepy. Is that she's like, I'm just gonna, if someone want to hang out with my kids, they should definitely come to my house. I'm not gonna send my kids out there. It's like they should come to my house. I have everything. Why do I need to bring them out and all those stuff? So when I heard about this, it didn't click in me at that moment that this girl actually have a lot of insecurity. Like she's afraid of losing things in her life. So this is really interesting because the portrayal of Neon's mom right now, you might actually think that she's the villain, but she's not, okay? She's just dealing with trauma. And so I would say forgive her, everyone. Like we need to really forgive her. But I mean like it is still, hopefully she can seek help. Hopefully there is a way to resolve the entire thing. But we also learned that Neon's real wish is to find real love, okay? And when we talk about real love, we need to think about what is the definition of real love, okay? Like, I feel like every single person have a different perspective of what love actually is, but I felt like real love for me personally is interdependence love, okay? Like we are able to love ourselves and we are able to love other for who they are. Okay, we are able to love ourselves for who we are, and we are able to love others for who they are. This is real love. Okay, and it is not dependent love. Like, it's not like without you I'm gonna die, something like that. That is not love. Okay, that is parasite. Okay, so that is something that I just felt like we should definitely take into consideration when we want to understand what actually is real love itself. Okay, it might not be romance, it might be something else, it might be family member, and the reason why Neon wants love so much, it is because like the parents never actually love her, but they actually like they never see her for who she is. So but they only see her for like a doll that they're gonna protect, like a pet, you know, like not a human being. That is very, very degrading for someone that is living in this world. So let me jump into the DGP right now, because DGP, damn man, like they actually changed a couple of things. It's really, really interesting. The first thing that they changed is the mask of the mastermind. They actually changed up the mask of the mastermind. Dude, what are you doing, man? Like, why do you change it up, man? It's like, why? I mean, like, just feel free to reuse the Hellboy mask. It is fine, okay? It is fine. But I felt like maybe because a little due to copyright issue, or they don't want to get into trouble with Warner Bros or something like that, so they just took away the mask, then replace it with a new one. It looks okay, I guess. Or maybe this is kind of like a different boss of the DGP. We do not know, okay, but I would assume there's only gonna be one mastermind behind the scene. Okay, so the way that the mastermind is designing the next game is definitely trying to lure out the truth from certain player itself, and that is why we actually see like the mastermind showing us a picture of Geats and Buffa together, because they really want to make them fight off with one another in the next episode, like kind of like cause them to fail in the DGP, something like that. Really amazing stuff here. But we need to talk about Dapan right now, because Dapan is a character that I feel like is really, really wasted here for them to kill off. But then again, if they manage to come back in the future, it is also gonna be really, really interesting as well to see how they are gonna make the problem make the character develop a little bit, because I actually make a video about who Dapan actually supposed to represent, and in that video I talk about he's supposed to be kind of like a school shooter that give up on life. He doesn't want to live anymore. So I'm actually really excited to see him growing out of that character and becoming someone better, but they actually deleted him in this episode. So this is something that I really want to put our attention to, because for when the DGP deletes, when the DGP kind of like retired you from the DGP itself, you actually get deleted in a similar fashion of how other rider actually die. When we see Shiroi die and how we see Gimpen die, this is the same effect, right? So they are being deleted, they are not being sent back to the real world and all the stuff. So they are being stored in a system somewhere, we do not know where. But when Sumori actually says something really interesting, like everything Sumori says, we need to pay close attention. She says that you are not worthy to become a Kamen Rider. You're Shikaku. Okay, Shikaku is like not qualified, like in a sense. So in a sense, like she's saying that you are not worthy to become a Kamen Rider, something like that. So it actually leads me to another kind of like fan theory I heard a couple months ago. They actually talk about like, what if the DGP is looking like trying to seek out like real Kamen Riders so that they can actually empower them to change the world, something like that. Okay, like it's like this Kamen Rider Geats series, since this is the first series after the 50th anniversary, I felt like they really want to define what it means to be a Kamen Rider, and that is why Kamen Rider Geats actually give us the DGP. You know, like what are they actually fighting for? Who is actually fighting in the DGP, and what is considered as a hero? Is it like the hero that is like self-sacrifice, or is it the hero that is OP, way over the top, or is it the hero that is willing to do whatever it takes to save humanity, something like that? Okay, so I felt like that might be the big picture here that we're gonna get from Kamen Rider Geats. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see here, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Goodbye.